Are you ready to boost your confidence when selling so you're able to close more deals? Nikki Rausch will show you how to build a foundation of skills and a mindset that creates sales success without feeling pushy or salesy and without fear of rejection. She is a sales strategist and coach with more than 25 years of sales experience and is master certified in neuro-linguistic programming. This is a radically different approach to selling. It's a no sleaze, no slime, and no stress approach to building your business. This is Sales Maven. Here's Nikki.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Rausch, your own personal sales maven, here to offer you tips, techniques, and strategies to master that sales conversation. Today's episode is a sales success story. I am beyond thrilled to welcome our guest today. Her name is Michelle Cooper. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I am so excited to talk to you today and to meet your audience. It's just so great.
Well, you and I have known each other for years, and Michelle and I years ago, was it 3 years ago? We were in a group coaching program together.
Yeah, at least 3 years ago.
Yeah. And then about 2.5 years ago, I think, I hired you. I'm gonna have you do an introduction, but I just want to give some background story. I hired you, and I'll let you say what that is when you talk about what your business is. It was so weird because Michelle and I got partnered in this group coaching program as accountability partners. And we got to know each other. I fell in love with you and just your energy and what you do and how freaking smart you are. And then when my coach at the time was like, "Why are you struggling with this area of your business?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she said, "Hire somebody to help you. Who do you know that knows how to do this?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, my accountability partner, Michelle Cooper, knows how to do this." And we have been working together ever since. And then since I've had the great pleasure of also coaching you as well, which is what we're going to talk about today on the show. So Michelle, tell the audience a little bit about you and your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So my business is Alchemy Accounting and Bookkeeping Services, and we help entrepreneurs across North America clean up the financial aspect of their business and get some systems and structure in place. I have what might be a non-conventional accounting take or approach. I tend to lean more into the spirituality and consciousness of money than a more traditional accountant. I think it's like a trifecta kind of the spirituality of money, the energy of money, and the physical manifestation of money and looking after our financial records. And when we have those three things all together, right? A relationship with money, energetically, consciously, and we have a nice, tidy financial house, it actually opens up the floodgates for money to come in. And I strongly believe that we need to be a good steward of money in order for money to flow. And when that does, we can have an even greater impact in the world.
Yeah, for sure. Michelle is my CFO. We meet at least once a month. And you continuously blow my mind and challenge me, push me. You have set and helped me set goals in my business that I never even, in my wildest dreams, would have never set for myself because they were such big goals around money and how that would work. And yet I have made some pretty significant strides as a result of that. So she's amazing. She's an amazing CFO for hire. I highly recommend her. And I refer clients to you regularly because I believe in you. I believe in the work that your team does. So
thank you.
I'm so happy to have you in my life.
It has just been really awesome. I always Like in building my business, I wondered, is this something that is actually needed? Like, do people need CFO service, or is that just like me thinking they do? But really working with you for such a long period of time has given me so much evidence that this is a really important fact of being a business owner.
Yeah.
And being a successful business owner, right? There's so much stuff out there about, 10x your revenue and get more revenue and like all this stuff. But not a lot of people talk about the sustainability of that and the real important number, which is the profitability and how much you are actually getting paid. The amount of times I see business owners who are doing $1 million launches or businesses and they're paying themselves like $1,500 a month.
Isn't
and it's
that
like,
insane?
What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Right? They have so much fear around money and stuff like that it just gets in the way.
Yeah, totally.
Well,
I know even a couple months ago, before Joel and I did the big move, right, to another state, Michelle was integral in helping me with some mindset stuff around the money and challenged me to make a huge withdrawal from my business account and put it into my personal account with this idea of like, I was so afraid, like, I can't take that money out of my business because, oh my gosh, like, what if nobody hires me again? And like all
right.
Which is so funny because it like that was a pretty significant amount of money that I took out of the business because I don't know, I was like, I felt like I was hoarding it or something. Like I didn't want to let it go out of my business account, but it has replenished itself over and over and over again.
Right.
Which has been
awesome. And because underneath that like expression of I don't know and it feels like scary is a belief that there's only so much.
Yeah.
And or that, maybe, it was a fluke that this happened and I got all this money, or I just got lucky and there's not more. There's always more. Yeah. Always.
It's been great. And if you're a longtime listener to the podcast, you have probably heard me say, or if you've heard me on other podcasts, the first thing I say every morning when I wake up to my, before I put my feet on the floor, the very first thing when I have any kind of a conscious thought is, I love money and money loves me. And Michelle challenges me, I think, with that of making sure that I really am living that, living what I'm saying every morning. And so it's just been, it's been awesome. So I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
Me too.
All right. So I brought you on specifically because we have had I've had the pleasure of actually coaching you on some sales stuff. So I want to talk through a particular situation that we've worked together on and the success that you've had. So you guys already know going in, like Michelle has this incredible mindset around money. And she is also an incredible businesswoman. So she has this deep spiritual side to her. And then she has this very practical side to your business that I really love. And you also have ginormous goals of like the kind of money that comes into your business and into your life. So I want to talk specifically about the launch that you did. When was this now? Was it
about 6 months ago?
Yeah, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And you've done many launches. You have a successful business, but that particular launch, you had reached out to me and asked for some help. So will you talk a little bit about kind of how you were feeling about that launch, what prompted you to reach out, and then we'll kind of dig into like what happened.
Yeah. So what I realized, like I had an idea for something, right? Like an idea for a program. It felt kind of interesting. I think this is what would be a good, like product in the marketplace. And came up with a price, felt it was fair, description, all the benefits, the features, all the stuff you need. And then I sat there looking at it and I was like, I don't even know how to talk about this. Like, I don't know how to I don't know how to sell this. One, it's a great product, but it's not the product that I would necessarily recommend. It's the product that suits somebody who doesn't want a bookkeeper. They want to do this themselves. I don't necessarily recommend that because I don't think that's the highest use of your time. However, there's people out there all the time. We talk to them all the time that they're like, well, I just need it all set up and then I'll do it myself. Right. And so I struggled in the language, the sales language of like how to make this clear, what it was, what the benefits were, and who the ideal client was. And I just kept going round and round in a circle. And then I was like, oh my God, I have the most amazing resource ever in Nikki. I'm just going to reach out and see what she has to say.
Well, I'm glad that you did because this product is needed in the market. And that, for if those of you who are listening, when you have an idea for something and it has the opportunity to bring revenue into your business, and maybe it doesn't always serve your like ideal client, but it does serve a segment of the market that you are continuously finding yourself coming into contact with, that it may make sense for you to put something together. And in this particular case, this made total sense because you're having a lot of conversations with people that are like, I just want somebody to like get me started and then I want to do it all myself. So why not have a solution for them? So I love that you put this together. So let's talk about kind of what happened as a result. So you came back to me and we worked through that language. We worked through how do you position this in the market? How do you talk about it? And how do you get people, like you said, like how do we help people self-identify? Oh, this is the perfect solution for me versus somebody else who's more of like the kind of client that I am, who I just want you guys to do everything for me. Like, I don't want to have to do any of this myself.
Right.
And so we can help people like either, walk away because they know it's not the right solution, but really target those people who it is the right solution for. So tell us a little bit about what happened and results.
Yeah. So it was really awesome. Like just the process of you supporting me on that. And you basically wrote my sales page, which was awesome.
I'm going to say I rewrote it. I didn't actually write it. I just offered some tweaks and suggestions.
Like it was awesome. And it felt really good. I felt super supported. And that product sells itself now, right? Like it stands alone on my website. It's a great option, like you said, for the ideal client. They understand, like they self-identify and they understand very clearly what they're getting. And it's great because it doesn't involve me. Right. So my team do the fulfillment of that. Like it completely stands on its own. And I was able to create a webinar presentation that is also like evergreen now, off of the sales copy that we wrote, that really addressed that ideal client's fears and frustrations and challenges, and why this was a good fit for them. Right.
And the other thing that I remember, but help me because it's been 6 months, but that it was, if I remember right, it was the first time you had sent out an offer and on the first email closed that amount of business. Is that right? And are you willing to share that with the listeners?
Yeah. So one of the other things that happened at the same time was that I was on one of your master classes and you were talking about email copy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this copy and I'm going to, edit it up so that it's applicable to me and this offer. And I'm going to send it out to my list. And I did that while we were on the masterclass. As somebody else was talking about something. And I had like 5 people. No, I had a kind of like a list of leads, right? Of about 20 leads that had come in. They weren't really suitable for like personalized bookkeeping support. And so I just emailed it out to them. 5 people said yes instantly.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Yeah.
Right? Which
That's amazing.
was like nearly $10,000.
Yeah.
And I don't have to, the great thing is that I don't have to do anything for that, right?
Yeah, because
like,
everything is done.
It's all automated and my team do the fulfillment. And so to me, it's like, this is so easy. Oh my God, why didn't I do this before? Right?
Well, and that's the thing about your emails. And this is why, one of the services that I offer for clients oftentimes is this restructuring or taking a look at emails and offering tweaks and suggestions, because it's super important when you're sending these messages out that you're thinking about, how is this going to be received by the reader? So Michelle was in a masterclass with me. Like, I was teaching these concepts and sharing a lot of sales scripts. I shared, I think, in that masterclass, I'm trying to think, I don't know now. I want to say
there was 5.
Oh, yes. Okay. So that was just for the one series of emails. So it was 5 emails. Yes. So 5 emails about a promotion, like a launch. And what were those emails, how they should be laid out. Here was some sample language. So I love that you're on the masterclass. You're in the session and somebody else is talking. I think actually, though, I'm wondering now, I don't think it was the masterclass. I think it was the group coaching program. Because I think it was because I gave that to you guys before I launched the masterclass. I wrote those for
you know what? It
the
was
Premier Coaching Program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so now I was like, wait, how could this have happened? Okay. So this was the Premier Coaching Program. Michelle has been in for 6 months with me. It's a high level group coaching program that I offer. And I had created this guidebook for the people who are in this program. It's a guidebook. And I had shared this 5 email sequence. Like, here's my 5 email sequence. So Michelle took it while on the call, implemented it, and made 10 grand. Like, that's the best. That made me so, I remember at the end of the call, you're like, hey, just so you know, I just made 10 grand while we were sitting on this call using what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I find that a lot, right? Like, I love jumping in on your stuff because you deliver so much content and such high value. And I know that I tend to be an implementer, right? Like, I'll take it and I'll do it right now.
Yep.
But it's not the only time that's happened. Like, so many times, like, I had that other one where you shared circle back email.
Yeah.
Was that on our group coaching?
No, I think that was in the
masterclass.
I think that was in the society, because I talk about that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you were like, this is the circle back email. And I had a client that had been on the fence for like 2 months, going back and forth, and I'm not sure. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use this circle back email. And I did. And she came back. She's like, I'm ready. Let's just do it. I'm like, this is awesome.
It is awesome. So that just goes to show implementers get results. Michelle, you are such an implementer. I love that about you.
Well, I feel like that's why I'm there, right? I'm there to learn, and I'm there to put into action whatever it is I'm learning. And so, why not?
And because I remember we just did this the other day because you're still in this group coaching program that I'm doing, and you had asked for some suggestions about something. And I'm trying to think now what it was, but you're like, okay, I'm just going to get off the call and go do these right now. Right. Like, and that's just how your mentality is, which I absolutely love. And when you go and implement, this is what happens. Like, things get results. And especially in the sales process, like, your job is always to make it so easy for people to buy from you. And I think you're really good about doing that. I think you continue to look for ways to make it really easy for people to buy. Oh, I know. We were talking about on one of your coaching calls, we were talking about how to pre-qualify people, right? So because Michelle's time is very limited. You are a very busy woman, and you have clients from around the world who work with you.
Yeah.
I know somebody just asked me, I think it was yesterday, I was talking to somebody and I was suggesting that they potentially reach out to you, that you would be a good resource for this client. And she was like, yeah, but can she work with somebody in this state, like the state that she was in? I was like, oh, she works with people around the world and it doesn't really matter what state you're in. And I know that to be true because I just moved states and you were like there holding my hand through this process of like,
right.
What do you do to set your business up in this new state and all of that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
that about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, I think, putting into action the things that we learn at the right time, right? Like when you feel inspired is really important because there's an energy to that action, right? And I think, like so often we write stuff down and then we put it in our book or whatever, and we're like, oh yeah, I'll get back to that. And then we lose that inspiration and that motivation, mm-hmm. right? And we lose that energetic component to that thing. And what I've found with sales is that like what you've taught me is that my energy in that sales conversation is so important.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm learning. So now I'm at the point of like training a member of my team to do sales calls, right? Because you were like, you need to get other people doing this,
yeah.
right? You shouldn't be on the phone with everybody. And that's very true. And so I'm talking to her a lot about like the energy that you bring to the sales conversation is so important. And one thing I just will never forget and I use all the time and I remind myself every single day is that it's my job to earn their business.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels really good to me because I didn't always have a great relationship with sales, right? Like I felt, I don't know, like I feel like it's cheesy or salesy or I'm putting pressure on people, even though I had an understanding that I was giving them an opportunity to change their life. It still didn't feel great. I felt like I was taking something. And now I've changed that and I feel very strongly that I'm earning their business.
Yeah. And absolutely.
That feels completely different.
And I know we have talked about that in particular quite a bit. I remember, I think the first time maybe I said it to you and you were like, oh my gosh, like it was like the light bulb came on. You're like, yes, I'm here to earn somebody's business. And I know that this comes out of my mouth a lot. I know I hear you say it all the time now. You talk all the time about earning somebody's business. And it does change your energy. It does change the way you show up in the sales conversation. So you're not doing sales to somebody. It's something you do with somebody. And it's something that you earn. It isn't just given. It's not expected. It's like you earn it. And when you earn it, like what feels better than earning something? I think most people will say like when you work really hard for something, you take better care of it. And I think when you work really hard to earn your client's business and their trust and their money, then you take really good care of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, absolutely.
I love that. All right. Well, as we kind of start to wrap up here a little bit, I always like to ask if you were to offer advice to somebody who is struggling with sales conversations or any of the things that you have really learned how to hone and implement, what would you say to that person? Like, what do you think is a first step for them?
To me, the first step is get support, whatever that looks like. It depends on, your cash flow budget, whatever, but like get support. The amount of times I've had conversations with, my business besties kind of thing. And they're struggling with getting their clients. They're struggling with enrollment and sales. And I'm like, what kind of support have you gotten in regards to sales? Well, I'm just having a sales call. Do you have a coach? Have you read a book? Are you learning anything? Because sales isn't something that most of us do naturally.
Right.
It's not like you come into your business and you're doing this thing that usually you do quite naturally, right? The sales component is not something we necessarily do naturally. And you need support on that, just like you need support on other things. Like you might not be the best artist. So should you be designing your logo? No, probably not. You'd probably need support on that, right? Like it's of such value because it's a huge component to your business. And if you don't have support, you're out there winging it on your own, and you don't have to.
Yeah. And of course, I totally agree with this. And it's funny to have that part of this conversation with you because a lot of the big financial decisions that are made in my business are a discussion with Michelle first, right? Like before I'm going to go out and spend $12,000 on something or whatever, Michelle and I have conversations about it. And it's been awesome over the last couple of years, the times where you have really challenged me to think through the money that I was going to spend. And then other times have really encouraged me to spend money. And one of the places that, Michelle, you are so great, I will say, as being a client, like I never feel any kind of like when I'm investing in myself and learning, you're always like right on board with that. As long as I'm keeping it within my, expenses, keeping them within range. But that's one of the places I remember telling my coach, that I was like so nervous to have to come back and be like, oh, Michelle, I forgot to ask you, but I just spent, $5,000 on this thing. But I ended up turning it around and making a bunch of money as a result. And you were like, well, I'm in support of that. Right?
Right?
So invest in yourself because it makes a difference. And when you're struggling with something, get help. There are so many people out there to help you. And whether it's me from a sales perspective, or if it doesn't resonate, if the type of sales conversation stuff that I'm doing doesn't resonate, there are so many great coaches out there. There's so many great books out there. There's, tons of free resources out there. Like, don't just sit and beat your head against the wall. Invest time and invest money because it makes such a difference in the long term to your business. So, that was my soapbox moment.
It's just so true. Like it is so true. And I can't stress it enough. I have a friend right now and she's trying to enroll people into her program, high ticket item. And I'm like, you've done no education on sales, none. Like you need to do that.
Yeah.
Instead of, finding another coach to work with or something like that, I was like, invest in some sales training.
Yeah, to me, obviously I feel strongly that it's one of the most important investments that you can make in your business.
If you don't have sales, you don't have revenue, you don't have business.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yeah. It is that simple. All right. So I suspect that there's going to be some listeners who are going to want to reach out to you who could definitely benefit from some coaching, some CFO services from Michelle, or some accounting and bookkeeping from Alchemy. So how can people get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Well, we do have a great resource on our website, alchemyaccounting.ca. It's called 3 Financial Truths Every Business Owner Needs to Know. And it is a really great, small, easy to read document that really will help you get a clear understanding of the financial aspect of your business and the truth about it. And how that can support you moving forward. So I'd encourage people to grab that from our website as a first step. You can obviously, there's all sorts of buttons on the website where you can contact us or call me. There's a phone number on there. You can call our office. We do have a brick and mortar office. We also have a virtual office. I've got, staff across North America. So reach out, say hi. All of the social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Alchemy Accounting and Bookkeeping. that's where you'll find us.
Yeah. And Michelle's contact information will be in the show notes. So connect with her. She's fun to be connected with on social media. She says it like it is. You are an amazing person. And I just love your energy so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your successes and talking about kind of your philosophy around sales and investing in yourself. It was really fun to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, thank you. And I really can't stress enough how you have changed my business with your area of expertise and our friendship as well. But really, like, my business wouldn't be $1 million business if I didn't have the support for sales, and I didn't have the ability to lean on you and your skill set to help me through figuring this all out, because sales, not my zone of genius, but I'm changing that.
Yes, you are.
So thank you so much. And I really encourage people, like your Sales Maven Society, your master classes, your programs, they're such high value, such high value.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. All right. Well, as a listener, if you are really ready to get some support around the things that are causing you some struggles in your sales conversations, then you are invited to join the Sales Maven Society. This is where you and I'll connect. You bring questions, you bring your struggles, you bring your concerns, you bring your situations, and I will provide you answers, guidance, techniques, and training to boost your confidence in your sales conversations. So to join the Sales Maven Society, you can do this by going to salesmavensociety.com. And I'm going to give you a coupon code for your first month so you can test it out, dip your toe in the water, check us out. It's an amazing group. There's lots of training in there. You get quite a bit of access to me. Michelle is a lifetime member. She bought the lifetime membership. So you'll see Michelle in there. So here's the coupon code. It's 27TRIAL, 27TRIAL. That is going to get you your first month of membership for $27. The membership is $97 a month. It's a reoccurring membership. You can cancel at any time, but come join. You're going to see it is filled with amazing business owners, everybody who are, just starting out, to people like Michelle who have 7-figure businesses and still understand the value of having guidance and support. So come join us. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of the day, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Sales Maven. Visit us online at yoursalesmaven.com/maven for more resources to boost your confidence and skills.